What's up, guys? It's Zero Chem Chess here. Today we're going to be doing the SPDA Showdown Masterball League draft analysis. So, first things first, let's go over the rules. Uh, Snake style, as always, 10 to 12 Pokemon, 125 point budget. This is a low tier Terra draft, so you can have up to 3 Terra captains as long as they don't go above a specific point value. In this case, it's 20 points. You don't need to have stab Terra typing, so you can have any Terra type as long as that's okay. Um, same in the same vein, there is also another restriction. No Pokemon above 12 points can be Terra captains, and only certain Pokemon can get Terra captains. So even some of the 12-point mons and below are not available. Um, Typical draft league bans. There is some Terra bans from Armarouge down to Venusaur. Uh, these Pokemon cannot be your Terra Captain. These are the ones that are typically 12 and below that are not allowed. So another one would be a Namorous Therian. And then there's some complex bans. So Arcanine's too strong with Terra Normal Extreme Speed. Swift Swim when Terra Capped, or Belly Drum when Terra Captain is a huge no-no. The one that stands out as being a little bit weird is Wochian. It is strong, but I think there's some other things that in here that are also pretty good. Namely, like Espeon not being Terra Poison banned seems pretty similarly good. But that's just my opinion. It's up to the players to find the diamonds in the rough. So the draft order, let me pull that up real quick. So the draft order was this. So we had Codex King, Royzer, Jamarcus, Maki, ClubShaySharpie, Frozone, Idrisil, Life's Hell, XO, I think that's how you say their name, XO or Show, Skivbob, Peter, Permanence, me, X0X-Man, Skipper, MegaMando, and MSR. I know some of these people I don't, but they all seem pretty cool. This part of it is kind of like an invite only, so not that everyone's like playing the hearts out or whatever, but it should be good quality games with good people. They've at least passed the vibe check. So this is season 2 of the SPDA. So after their rebrand, let's go ahead and break down the analysis. So we'll break down the team. So 16 teams. There's some good ones. Sneasler with Rillaboom with Grassy Seeds, annoying. There's a Rain team. This team stole my Metagross, but it looks annoying. Any team with Spectre is strong. This team is got the table. It's got to be banned. Yeah, this almost Mono Dragon, or is it actually Mono Dragon? It is. Okay, I think it was potentially at one point not going to be. Yeah, the Mono Dragon team from Maki. I think this team MegaMando is like insane. I really like what he put together. Polt Greninja Jirachi with Ursaluna and Rotom Heat, like you can't go wrong there. This looks like something I would really fuck with. Peter sniped my Sinistcha, so I had to pivot. So we'll talk about that here in a second. Really good spinner. Kyurem, Cinderace, Iron Jugulus is really good. Florius is a good cleric. Mesperit's an amazing lead. Urshifu, God, the top 6 here is just crazy. Or 1, 2, 3, 7. The top 7's crazy. Duraludon can't be slept on. Violite. Veluza, we'll see. I'm probably sleeping on it as a Terra Captain. I don't have a lot of respect for Noctowl. I'm interested to see how much value he gets out of some of these Pokemon. specifically Flygon and Jolteon. I think they both are going to be fighting for Terra a lot. So depending as long as he can make that happen, I think this team will be interesting. This team is very solid. I really like Skipper's team. Screens, Primarina is amazing in draft. Latios is great. Heatran's the GOAT. I really think Terra Lucario is probably undervalued. It's I know it's 12 points, but like the fact that it can be Terra normal is good. Aleki is overrated, but there weren't any spinners, so we'll get we'll get to that here in a sec. Speed Boost Blaziken was unbanned from season 1 to season 2. That's a huge one. Midnight Cowboy was using unspeed boost Blaziken, just Blaze, and I think if he had Speed Boost, it would have made his team considerably stronger. It is more points, going up from I think 15 to 19, or maybe even less than 15. But it jumped up in accordance. But Blaziken is very good. Solid team. I think I actually play them first. Is that right? I think they are my week 1. Let's check. They are. Yeah. That's why I've looked at their team recently. Let's get into the actual draft. So, Great Tusk down to Nimble. Let's break it down in Showdown a little bit. So, first overall pick. Ooh, let me set this over. Our first overall pick was Great Tusk. It's the premier spinner in draft. It's very strong. It's really flexible. But it can be pigeonholed. It can be forced to run, rocks spin every time. But Terapagos also is a really good strong spinner. I think probably the second or third best. Amazing special attack. Lots of barrier to stop sweepers. You really have to chip Terapagos to make sure that you can actually sweep usually. No like draft prep for double kicker or some other random move is gonna break through with Terra Shell stopping multiples, all the multi-hit moves. I think they both provide a lot of flexibility for each other. But I needed some speed control afterwards. Not that I'm super slow, but strong ice type. Picked up Weavile. I needed to round out my defensive core, so we got Slowking for that. This will almost always be Regenerator if it's not doing something crazy. Overcool's really good. I know I likely sniped it from the rain team. But Intimidate and Poison Point are both pretty good. Intimidate will probably be the standard for me. I know I was talking about how Weavile did get Rain Dance during the draft just to kind of mess with people, but I don't think I'll ever be running a Rain Dance Weavile. But yeah, I mean, like, I technically could use Swift Swim, but it's just a strong spiker, good intimidator. I tried to pick mons that cost the same as their Terra points. So let me go back over here. So some of these, like Crawdaunt is 9 points, but if it's a Terra Captain, it's 12 points. So I tried to choose stuff that was the same, so that way when I'm using one of my free agencies to like switch for a week upcoming, or if I don't think that something will work, I don't have to like entirely drop and like waste my free agencies like rebuilding my team. So me and Shannon is the same way. Overquill is not a Terra Captain at the moment, but he could be. I think he'd be a strong one. Agility SD, it hits hard. It can also just be a good spiker with Intimidate. Aqua Jet, Toxic, a bunch of stuff. Mienshao, I really like my double Regenerator core. This gives me a lot more pressure. But it also fixes up a lot of my weaknesses. Um, I can be Terra Poison. I can fix up a lot of my fairy weakness that I had. But if I don't want to necessarily do that, and I want to, you know, be something a little bit more aggressive, I don't want to entirely rely on, me and Xiao being my go-to to eat fairy hits. So I needed another Pokemon, and Moltres fits in that slot very well. Really good status absorber. It's really good balanced Pokemon. Status spreader. Really good balanced Pokemon. Can eat special and physical hits pretty well, as long as I EV for it. Um, it's just a great all around Pokemon. I mean, it's almost always going to need to be running boots, but with two good spinners, maybe I can get a little cheeky. Going back to that actually, because Tusk is a good spinner, I won't always have to run boots on Terrapagos. So I can be greedy sometimes. So, Belly Bolt. Belly Bolt is another Terra Captain. Terra Fairy is amazing on Belly Bolt. I've got some other ones as well, but just really good raw bulk. Toxic. It it just it just lives, and it's really good at chipping stuff down. Um, it's hard to sweep a well prepared Belly Bolt. Shaman is here as a Scarfer most of the time. It is a good natural cure, like status absorber, like I accidentally said for the Moltres, but it'll be here for as a potential Scarf threat a lot of the time. It's a good Scarf cleaner. It's also a good revenge killer, but also has Healing Wish. Healing Wish is really good at giving many members on my team a second chance. Like, either Banded Weavile needs to heal back up, because maybe Rocks stayed up, Belly Bolt, but most importantly, Terrapagos to reactivate Terra Shell. But we need to make sure that just those two aren't running Rocks all the time. If you look at my prep doc, I've only got 2 Rockers up to this point, so I need a third. They have some strong priority, but I want to give these guys the flexibility to potentially be other things, bulk up Tusk, stuff like that. So we've got Rocks on Tinkaton now. We've got a good Thunder Waver. We've got a good Mold Breaker Mon. We've got a good Pickpocket Mon. It's just very strong. I really think Tinkaton's going to put in a lot of work, especially on a more aggressive side of balance. I think where Tinkaton doesn't have reliable healing a lot of the time. It's also a good, like, one-for-oneer, and another good target for Shaman to Healing Wish back up. We only had 1 point left, and we had 1 Terra point left, so looking at everything that was remaining, well, that's not entirely true. I kind of had this planned from the start from a friend, but looking at everything that was remaining in the 1 point, it fit alongside my original thought of trying to pick up Nimble. Another strong priority user, even though it's not on here. Bandit and Life Orb do a lot, especially like if you expect that they want to save something, you can SD, and Sucker Punch does a lot. Bandit First Impression's crazy. The overall team is lacking a bit of speed. We do have 125 and 105. That's why Shaman at base 100 is going to be a good potential threat for a Scarf. Not that we always need to bring it. We have a really strong ground immunity, a really strong electric immunity. I think Tusk and Terrapagos are both good wall breakers. I know we're a little bit low on the special attack side, but I think, honestly, Terrapagos can basically provide for an entire team on that side. We have our bulky water, and damn, do we have a good one. Slowking's really amazing. I think it fits in this draft really good. 2 grounded poison types, so we don't have to deal with toxic spikes. One of them will always not be the Terra Captain because the other one will be it. So we have dedicated options. We have plenty of knockoff users. Even Nibble can be a knockoff user. We're not really including that. Plenty of fast encore users. Weavile and Mienshao. And then plenty of momentum. Bunch of pivoting moves, Healing Wish, and the like. We are missing a bit of our core. We have a good fire type. We have a good bulky water. We have a solid grass type. The only problem is we don't. I'm counting Belly Bolt as our fairy here, but because Tinkaton would otherwise be holding both slots by itself. But we don't really have a good dragon, and I think we can correctly point out who the culprit is as to why all the good dragons are gone. It's okay. I think it's not entirely necessary if you look at our weakness chart with the things that are likely for it to likely be. I mean, we're a little weak to some things, but we have some pretty good resistances, and I think we have a pretty balanced team, especially with 3 different screens users and the ability to deal with hazards, the ability to set hazards. I think we're pretty good. We don't have sticky webs, which is something that I was hoping we could also slot onto the team, but the other thing we don't have is a good spin blocker. Originally, I was hoping to pick up Metagross and Trevenant, and both those got taken, so... well, it was Metagross and Trevenant, and then the backup was Sinistcha, and that one got taken as well. So we went with strong grass type that still does some of those things. I was wanting Heat Rock Trev to be my photosynthesis setter for Tusk to have a unexpected weather, but we might do some unexpected weather shenanigans anyway. We got plenty of good options. I think we have a well-rounded draft. I think there's a lot of good drafts here, though. So, and a lot of good players. I'm really excited for the season. I think the first couple weeks will be really telling as to how well everyone gets to pilot everything, myself included. But I'm looking forward to it. You know, I think it's going to be a good season. I think everyone's going to have good vibes, and yeah, big shout out to the SPDA for having me. I'm super excited.